Hello, and welcome to another episode of the What's Interrupting Your Life show. And today I'm so excited because I get the opportunity to sit down and chat with Shanique. Um, just a little bit of history. Shanique and I do know each other. We worked together in the past. So before we get into all of that juicy stuff, Shanique, introduce yourself. Who are you? What you're all about?
Hi, I'm Shanique. I am an actor and I am an entrepreneur. I run an online counseling business that provides affordable counseling for women, children, individuals, families here in Vancouver and Toronto.
Amazing. So Shanique, I our signature question and what our show is all about. We're going to start there before we get into other stuff. But what is or what has interrupted your life?
I would say the biggest thing that has interrupted my life, self doubt.
Mm,
Self doubt has been a catalyst in like holding me back from pursuing certain things that I wanted to pursue or felt like I couldn't
mhm,
because maybe I wasn't good enough or I didn't have the means or I had to do only one thing. But I've worked extensively hard in unblocking those mental blocks and
mhm,
getting myself to where I'm at now.
mhm. Okay, so let's dig a little deeper. What does that um, self doubt look like in your everyday life? What did it look like before to the point where you are today?
It was more like your inner critic. You know, you have an inner critic that just tells you, no, you can't do that, or you have to be a certain way.
Mhm,
So it was more about right now I sit in two different careers, you can say. So I'm an actor and I'm also in mental health. And I
right.
felt for the longest time that I couldn't do both. I had to, if you want to be a counselor or own a business, this
Mhm,
is just what it is. The arts are something of the past. And I felt like I couldn't do both. There's all
mhm.
these things that come up in your mind. Um, I guess it's also like an identity thing, right? It's
Yeah.
like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, you're a counselor, that's it. What do you mean you dance or sing or act? So
Mhm.
I think for the longest time, I played tug of war with myself.
Wow. And that's interesting because a lot of women I know in our community struggle with that.
Right.
Um, and I've myself have struggled with it. And I've written a blog about it, and it changed it into terms of like how many hats do we wear? Because we wear
Right.
so many different hats, and you know we get stuck. We get imposter syndrome that starts to like tell us we shouldn't be doing that,
Yeah.
right? And then because you are in the mental health and social service field, because that's how we met, um, it's like we're supposed to be. That's it. That's all we're
Yeah.
supposed to do.
Yeah.
No other
Just
talents. Don't do anything.
your mental health.
Yes.
That's it. That's the only image you project. And it's like personality is so complex, but for
Mhm.
whatever reason, we limit ourselves to these basic beings, for lack of a better phrase. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, there's so many facets to your personality,
Mhm.
and it's okay to honor them.
Yeah, and we need to start honoring them.
Yes.
We need to
Uh,
start and really truly honoring them, not like a half assing it,
Exactly.
right? Like
Exactly.
just and at the end, one, it's honoring it, and then two, it's being okay with it. Because you can
Yes.
still honor it, but are you okay with it?
Okay with it. Oh, that's so true. So it
Mhm.
goes down to self acceptance, right?
Yeah.
Accepting that aspect of yourself, like it's okay. Yep,
Mhm.
absolutely. It's tough
Yeah,
navigating that.
it
And for
is. It is.
me, I felt like I was missing something because the arts have been such a huge part of my upbringing. I took
Mhm.
acting classes, vocal lessons, modeling my whole entire life up until high school. And I tried to pursue it professionally at the time when I was about maybe 19. And of course,
Mhm.
your parents are like, please choose something else. No, you will not be Celine Dion.
Yes.
It's too far fetched, right? And so, and so I struggled with that. And then when I did go get my degree and I had my apartment and I was working at Airbon at the time and I was working somewhere else, I'm like, I did it. I have a university degree. I have my apartment downtown. You know what I mean? I'm living the dream, but I felt empty inside. I
Wow.
felt like I was still lacking. I'm like, but I'm doing such a, I was working at a psychiatric treatment center as well
Yes.
as Airbon.
Mhm.
And I'm like, but you know, you did it. You went to school. You're helping people. This is you have such an important role in society. And I still felt like something's missing.
Hmm.
And that,
So, okay, so that leads me to the next question. What led you, because you were at Airbon, and then all of a sudden I noticed on your Instagram you're in Vancouver.
yeah, I know.
So, like, what happened
How did you
there?
get there?
Yeah, yeah.
I did a lot of soul searching, like I was saying. So I remember one night I went to a monologue slam in Toronto. And like I said, I've always done the arts for a very long time. And then I put a pause when I went to university. And it's at this place called the Hideout. It's on College Street. And in the Hideout, there's this sign that says entertainment, and it's like 3D. And so I sat and I watched people do monologues, and they went up there, and something just ate at me. And I was like uneasy. And then thoughts started rushing in. I'm like, am I really going to live this entire life without ever pursuing the arts at a professional level? Am I always just going to watch Halle Berry movies and fantasize that it's me?
Mhm.
Um, and it's like I was uneasy.
Mhm.
And I tell people this all the time. Something happens when you turn 30. It's like, you know that life is real. Do you know what I mean? You can't hide from your true self anymore. I
No.
feel like in your 20s, you can brush things off easily and
Mhm.
ignore that person inside. And so I pursued it. I gave up my apartment, I gave up my full time job, and I went back to casual because, you know, casual, you could pick up shifts.
Right.
Downgraded my whole entire life, started taking acting classes, and I did some soul searching. I was meditating a lot during that time and really asking myself the hard hitting questions like, what do you want? Not what you
Mhm.
think you should want
Right.
at 30, not what your parents told you you should want. What do you want? And I went on this journey. I call it my Eat, Pray, Love journey. And I went to Hollywood for a week by myself. I needed to see the sign. I needed to see the stars on the Walk of Fame. And I got so emotional. And I'm like,
Wow.
there's something there.
Yeah.
And during that time, as I was saying, I was meditating, and you know, your spirit speaks to you, your higher self
Mhm.
speaks to you,
Mhm.
and I'm like, how am I going to pursue my acting and eat? Because when these
Yes.
auditions come, you can't just call in sick every Wednesday when you have an audition or every Tuesday. And the
No.
idea for HSB Wellness came from that, where I'm
Oh,
like, I will pursue this part time
right.
as I'm going on my journey, and so it kind of all came full circle. It was a whole journey. And
Wow.
so, oh yeah,
And that's like, and I love how you painted like the road that you traveled on.
yes,
Because so many of us don't like, we get those feelings, we go into those places and those spaces, and we know that, you know, what we're presently doing is not where we genuinely truly want to be. But when we go into those spaces, we know we need to be there, but we just don't know how to do it.
right.
So I love that, you know, you painted that journey of meditating, asking yourself, and then going to Hollywood where,
Hollywood, yes.
right?
I'm like,
So,
is this just a phase? I needed to explore those feelings and take
mm,
myself out of my comfort zone and away from people. I didn't even tell people I was going until I booked my ticket and my Airbnb, and I'm like, I'm going to LA, guys. And they're like, what? By yourself? I'm like, yeah.
that is so, that's one, empowering, two, amazing. That's beautiful. So now the HSBC Wellness,
Mhm.
how does that now? Because you're, what are you doing? Are you doing both of them full time? Like, what does that look like in your life now?
So like HSB Wellness, I'm more of an administrative role. I do
Mhm.
take clients here and there, but I have a team of therapists. So I used to have five. I just had two that had to had other priorities. So
Mhm.
right now I'm just down to my two therapists. I have one in Vancouver and one in Ontario.
Okay.
So it's more administrative, and yeah, it's more on a part time level, just kind of building my name
Mhm.
before
Mhm.
drinking it because it is a lot. I'm doing this all by myself,
Yeah.
and my acting career is very, very, very busy. So it is on a part time level, but we have clients every month, every week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. And so where do, how do people like, what type of counseling does your, you, do you offer?
So we do offer individual couples,
Mhm.
parental counseling, like adults who have children that struggle with autism or on the spectrum, and they need like maybe guidance in how to help manage them.
Mm-hmm,
So a
mm-hmm.
few of our therapists do that. We do child and youth counseling as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's nice.
that's on
And
point.
what made you decide to choose that? Like start your own agency with the acting? Like why didn't you like become a plumber or like I don't know.
Well, I am passionate about mental health and I love counseling. I do believe in therapy very much so.
Mhm.
And that's what I wanted to do when I first started, when I went into social service. When I went to go get my psychology degree, it was always to be a therapist or run a therapy firm. So that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it.
Nice.
It was another self doubt where I'm like, I have to wait till I have a PhD and all this stuff. And I'm like, no, no, you don't. You could start now.
Ah, that's that. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. That's amazing. So now let's tap into your acting career. What are you doing? Like
Oh, okay.
what do you
So
enjoy
I
most?
about it.
Yeah, like live
Um,
theater or like film.
Film and television. So most of my auditions and most of the roles that I do book are for film, commercials,
Mhm.
and television. Stage acting is great. Theater is amazing, but it does take a lot out of you and a lot of time. That's where the real acting happens. It's
I
on the
used to
stage.
do.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so you know. So you know.
Mhm.
I did one play in Toronto that was at the Fringe Festival before I came. I was the lead in that play. It was really
Oh,
cool. Yeah, before the
yeah.
pandemic. Pandemic kind of. But I came to Vancouver because I got a scholarship for an acting program.
Ah,
So I had come after my journey to LA, and then I
right.
went back to LA for an entertainment conference. And then the following year, I came to Vancouver for a 2 week certificate program at Vancouver Academy of Dramatic Arts.
Uh-huh.
And then I applied for their scholarship program and I got it. And I came here for that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And so you've been there ever since.
Yeah, it was 2020. So July 2nd will be 2 years. It goes by so fast
That's
since
amazing.
I've been here.
So, what are some of the things you enjoy? What are you doing for self-care out in Vancouver? Because you got the salt water and everything.
I know, and I live right by the water. So I do a lot of long walks along the seawall.
Hmm.
I'm huge on yoga, so I do yoga every morning.
Okay.
It's a part of my routine. Like I get up, I do my yoga, I write in my journal, gratitude journals. HSB Wellness has gratitude journals.
Ah, amazing. Yay.
My gratitude journal, and as well as my regular journal. And I'm really big on these. These are these affirmation cards. You
Oh,
know,
yes.
this
Yes.
one's by Gabrielle Bernstein.
Uh-huh.
So I just have a moment, and no matter how early my day starts, I have to do those things. I have to meditate. I have to write in my journals
Mm.
and flip my card and have like a moment to myself.
Okay, so I have a question because a lot of people are going to be. You didn't ask her this question. So how did you like? A lot of people struggle with getting started and maintaining that. So like your self-care
Okay,
routine in the morning, like what you're saying, no matter what time you get up, you still do your routine. So
right.
at the beginning, how did you get started with that?
So with meditation, I just started with 5 minutes
Mm-hmm.
randomly throughout the day whenever I had time. And
Mm-hmm.
because the benefits are so it's so beneficial,
Mm-hmm.
I started it in the morning before my day. And the reason why it becomes a habit is because now I can't live without it. I notice the difference when I don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm off. I'm like, oh, I
Yes.
didn't meditate today. I didn't get to do my yoga stretches. I feel weird.
Mm-hmm.
And so it becomes a necessity. It's like brushing
Mm-hmm.
your teeth. Like,
Yes.
like you have to do it no
Yep.
matter how, if you're late or not, that
You
has to go
can't leave
down.
the house with it. It's so true. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like
Wow.
this a staple in my life now for sure.
Well, that's amazing. That's really, really good. Um, and so how are you living now that you've come out to Vancouver? You've made all these different transitions. Like what does it look like next for you? What does it look like? What are your goals moving forward?
Forward.
Hmm.
Um, it's really busy because I have so much things going on. But I'm just hoping to grow my practice. I'm looking to maybe showcase these a little bit more because I do have new journals and other journals that I want to launch.
Right.
So focusing on building that. building my brand, HSB
Mhm.
Wellness, and I'm also going to be doing music very soon. So I'm going to be releasing some songs, tapping into the arts a little bit more. Yeah.
Oh, I know you do have a single.
Yes,
Yes,
me
you
and
do.
you, it's
Yes.
out.
And which I was surprised. I was like, oh, she sings too.
I do. That's what and I go, my stage name for music is High Shiva, which is the H in HSB Wellness. My name, yes.
Oh,
So my name is Shanique High Shiva Brown. So
nice.
I'll be releasing music under the High
Has
Shiva
she been?
brand.
Oh,
So multiple brands going.
no, that's good. That's
Yeah.
that's how we have to do it.
Yeah.
Multitask, doing it.
Full circle. But I feel so fulfilled. I can't, words can't describe how balanced I feel because I get to do all the things that I'm passionate about.
Right. And that you want to do.
Yes, not what I feel I have to do or whatever. And I still work part time at the shelter. Like I work at a women's shelter with women and
Oh,
children, finding them housing in the
wow.
downtown east side in Vancouver. So I do that part time. Yeah.
Oh, good, good, good. Wow, that's amazing. You're a true superstar. Because that's a lot of hats to wear.
It is. And it's just being okay, like we were saying before, knowing that, okay, do you know what I mean? To step into these different realms and not let it overwhelm you or
Mhm.
feel, yeah.
So how do you not let it overwhelm you?
I think you just have to be present. They
Mhm.
talk about mindfulness and being in the moment. That is the only way. So when I'm at the shelter, I'm just dealing with what's going on there, not thinking about my audition. Sometimes they do cross over, you know. If I have an audition, I have to prepare for the next day and I'm at work and I have some downtime, I might read my scripts.
Mhm.
But just being present, being completely present.
Wow. So give us a day in the life of Shanique. What would that look like?
Okay, so I get up and I do my meditation
Mhm.
and I drink my water and I set my intentions for the day. That's also important. And
Mhm.
claiming that I'm going to have a great day today and I'm going to be able to manage because my life is pretty hectic.
Yeah.
And then I get up and I might do some administrative stuff for my business. I might post on Instagram for my business, or there's a online platform that I go on to recruit clients.
Mhm.
So I might do a little bit of that for my business, and then I might have 3 or 4 auditions for that day
Wow.
that I have to now tape. So I might work on that.
Mhm.
And then I also do dance classes every Friday, and I'm a part of a community choir that meets every Tuesday, and we perform at local events in the city. And so I might have to go to choir practice, or I might have to go to dance class, or I might be just writing songs.
Oh,
Yeah, so it gets pretty hectic, especially with those auditions when it's like 4 of them for that day. I'm going from studio to studio um,
wow.
to do my auditions,
And
and then yeah,
and scripts are hard to remember.
right, and getting in character and knowing what
Yeah.
you're doing. It can be intense, but when you make up your mind that you're doing this, I
Mhm.
think sometimes things get overwhelming because we tell ourselves we don't really do this.
Right.
I kind of do it. I'm kind of an entrepreneur.
Mhm.
I'm
Yep.
kind of an actor. But when you say this is what I do, you just do it. And I find that I make more, I make use of my day, of my time. You know, sometimes we're like, oh, I'm gonna do something, and then you sit back for 3 hours doing nothing. I don't have that luxury. Every even relaxation is like we're scheduled like for 2 hours from 2 to 4 I'm gonna relax and then 5 I'm gonna hit the books, like kind of
Right.
thing.
No, that's good. That's good. Wow. Really.
Yeah.
Okay. So now before we wrap things up, um, what are like in your playlist right now? What are your top 5 songs that you're
Top
listening?
5 songs.
Yeah.
About That Time by Lizzo. I did
Uh-huh.
a little dance
Yes,
to
I
that.
saw that.
That's my jam right now. That's my jam. I like empowering songs, so I have Diva by Beyonce,
Mhm.
Girl on Fire by Alicia Keys.
Yeah.
Like these are the songs that I use to amp myself up for my day.
Mhm.
I have A Beautiful Noise, which is one of our choir songs that we're singing. And did I say 5? Brighter Day by Kirk Franklin.
Ah, I love that song.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. Yes. Amazing. Okay, let's get into some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Ready? So, what is one strategy that you would recommend to a woman who is currently experiencing a life interruption?
A life interruption. Do not ignore it. Sit down with pen and paper and ask yourself those hard hitting questions. What do I want? Self assessment is the best way to get to the root of any issue.
Mm-hmm.
So sit down and make time for yourself to ask yourself those questions that you would for a friend. We do that all the time with friends, right? Your friend comes to you with a problem and you're there ready to, but we don't do it with ourselves. No, take time and ask yourself those hard hitting questions. Self assessment.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. And then who is someone that inspires you?
I'm inspired someone by many people. Right now I'm really I'm listening to a lot of E.T. I don't know if you guys know E.T., the hip hop preacher.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Eric Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a motivational speaker and he's like really in your face, very to the point. And it's like church mixed with motivational speaking. It's very inspiring. He was like homeless on the streets and was able to get his life together and get a PhD. And now he speaks motivational speaks all over the world. He's
wow.
Incredible. E.T.
Oh, okay. I have to check him out.
Yeah.
Because I love listening to motivation in the morning.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, he's perfect.
Okay. And then what's a non-negotiable in your life?
Not like something I have to
Yes.
have.
Yes.
Meditation. I gotta meditate, guys. Gotta meditate. It has to happen. And sometimes if I don't get to do it in the morning, I'll sneak away and still make it happen somehow. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's like me. For me, it's journaling. And if I have a rush morning, the journal's in me, then I'm outside of school and I'm doing my journaling in the car. Because it doesn't feel right. So when you say, it doesn't feel right to complete your self-care morning routine, it doesn't feel like and then your rest of your day is like,
it's like off.
Yeah.
No, gotta happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited that we got to connect.
I know.
Got to get all up in your business.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, this
is so
great.
Amazing.
This is great.
You created Big Girl and the journey that it's been on, and it's been amazing to watch you as well. So,
thanks. Thanks. It's been fun, and it's going to. We got some big things coming, so it's exciting. Amazing. Yeah, it's really exciting. So. It's different, but wow. So, and you know what? Like when we started Big Girl Interrupted, it was the first thing I was like, I gotta go to Vancouver. I gotta go to Vancouver. So when it's time for me to come to Vancouver,
yes, you. come. You'll love it.
I know. I can't wait to come out there. Amazing.